eyes and found myself.
Good morning. Good morning, trustees, faculty and staff, families and friends, and most importantly, the remarkable Dwight-Englewood class of 2026. My name is Ami Vaidya. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to extend a warm welcome to you all as we join together to celebrate the class of 2026. I speak to you as President of the Board of Trustees, as an alum of Dwight-Englewood School, as a mother and aunt to 2 graduating seniors. I have sat where you sit now. I've watched this school shape generations of young people. And these past few years, I've had the privilege of watching it shape my own children. So today is not simply ceremonial for me. It's personal, emotional, reflective, and above all, it is hopeful. As I prepared my words for today, I briefly considered sharing a coming-of-age story of my daughter, Nisha Rajan. But as I am truly frightened of my little one, I thought better of it. What? Who here has not been just the least bit intimidated by Nisha, or worse, the unfortunate recipient of her angry eye roll? Graduates, you leave Dwight-Englewood at a moment when the world feels both connected and more fragmented than ever before. You've grown up in an age of astounding technology. You carry in your pockets more information than entire libraries once contained. Artificial intelligence can answer questions instantly. Algorithms can predict what you want before you even know it yourself. And technology can solve increasingly sophisticated problems with breathtaking speed. And yet, despite all of this progress, many people feel more uncertain, more distracted, and more disconnected than ever. But why? Arthur Brooks, a professor at Harvard, helped me to explain and understand this paradox by differentiating between life's challenges, dividing them between those that are complicated and those that are complex. Complicated problems are difficult, they're technical and demanding, but ultimately solvable. We can analyze them, engineer them, optimize them, and fix them. A complicated math theorem, a software bug, a medical diagnosis, a logistical crisis. These problems require intelligence, discipline, expertise, and persistence. Your education at Dwight-Englewood has prepared you extraordinarily well for these kinds of challenges. You've learned how to think critically, communicate effectively, explore ideas deeply, and pursue excellence. You've learned how to master the intricacies of academics, athletics, and the arts, sometimes through late nights finishing assignments you once thought were impossible. But some challenges are not merely complicated, they are complex. Complex challenges cannot simply be solved. They must be lived through, understood gradually, and navigated with humility. Grief is complex. Love and friendship are complex. Identity is complex. Purpose, too, is complex, and becoming fully human is complex. No app can optimize your character, no algorithm can tell you whom to love, what gives your life meaning, or how to endure disappointment with grace. Technology can help us process information, but it cannot tell us why we matter to one another. It cannot be a substitute for human connection. Modern life is designed for complicated challenges. Today, we are increasingly trained to approach every problem as if it were merely technical, something to be fixed quickly, measured precisely, and resolved efficiently. We become conditioned to seek immediate answers, certainty, and clarity. But the deepest parts of life do not work that way. They are more complex. The unknowable still exists, wonder still matters, mystery still matters. And one of the greatest dangers of our age is not that technology becomes too powerful, but that we become too narrow in how we think, too impatient with ambiguity, too uncomfortable with reflection, and too disconnected from each other to recognize life's significance. That is why your education here matters so profoundly. Dwight-Englewood has not simply trained you to solve problems. It has prepared you to live thoughtfully within complexity. I know that because it prepared me. At Dwight, our community of learners aspires not only to develop the skills necessary to make our ever-changing world better, but to develop the values and courage to do so. Because courage is required when answers are not obvious. The profile of a graduate reminds us that Dwight-Englewood graduates will explore ideas critically, communicate effectively, and lead active intellectual lives. But it also says something equally important, that through understanding born of a diverse and caring community, our graduates will engage creatively and compassionately in the world, because meaning is found not in isolation, but in relationship. The friendships you formed here, the teachers who challenged and believed in you, the moments of disagreement that taught you empathy, the teams, performances, clubs, and conversations that forced you to encounter perspectives beyond your own. These experiences matter as much as anything you learned in a classroom. They are teaching you how to be human in a world increasingly tempted to become transactional. Graduates, Dwight-Englewood has prepared you to meet the challenges of a changing world and make it better. But I hope it has also planted something deeper within you, the seeds of intrinsic curiosity, enduring purpose, and genuine wonder. I hope you continue to cultivate the interests that are not tied to achievement alone. Not every experience needs to be one fit for a resume. I hope you read books for the joys the stories tell. I hope you spend time with people who challenge your assumptions. I hope you learn to sit with uncertainty rather than flee from it. I hope you pursue work that matters, but also relationships that matter more. And when life inevitably becomes difficult, when you encounter the complicated problems that demand your intellect and the complex realities that demand your humanity, I hope you remember what you have learned here. The world will still need thoughtful, compassionate people, capable not only of solving problems, but of creating meaning. That is your task now. And having watched this class grow, I can say with complete confidence, you're ready for it. Congratulations, class of 2026. We are proud of you. We believe in you, and we cannot wait to see how you will make the world better.
To begin with, The Sweet Grass by Mary Oliver. 1. Will the hungry ox stand in the field and not eat of the sweet grass? Will the owl bite off its own wings? Will the lark forget to lift its body in the air or forget to sing? Will the rivers run upstream? Behold, I say, behold the reliability and the finery and the teachings of this gritty earth gift. 2. Eat bread and understand comfort. Drink water and understand delight. Visit the garden where the scarlet trumpets are opening their bodies for the hummingbirds, who are drinking the sweetness, who are thrillingly gluttonous. For one thing leads to another. Soon you will notice how stones shine underfoot. Eventually tides will be the only calendar you believe in. And someone's face, whom you love, will be as a star, both intimate and ultimate, and you will be both heart-shaken and respectful. And you will hear the air itself like a beloved whisper, "Oh, let me, for a little while longer, enter the two beautiful bodies of your lungs." 3. The witchery of living is my whole conversation. with you, my darlings. All I can tell you is what I know. Look and look again. The world is not just a little thrill for the eyes. It's more than bones. It's more than the delicate wrist with its personal pulse. It's more than the beating of a single heart. It's praising. It's giving until the giving feels like receiving. You have a life, just imagine that. You have this day, and maybe another, and maybe still another. 4. Someday I'm going to ask my friend Paulus, the dancer, the potter, to make me a begging bowl, which I believe my soul needs. And if I come to you, to the door of your comfortable house, with unwashed clothes and unclean fingernails, will you put something in it? I would like to take this chance. I would like to give you this chance. 5. We do one thing or another. We stay the same or we change. Congratulations if you have changed. 6. Let me ask you this. Do you also think that beauty exists for some fabulous reason? And if you have not been enchanted by this adventure, your life, what would do for you? 7. What I loved in the beginning, I think, was mostly myself. Never mind that I had to, since somebody had to. That was many years ago. Since then, I have gone out from my confinements, though with difficulty. I mean the ones that are thought to rule my heart. I cast them out. I put them on the mush pile. They will be nourishment somehow. Everything is nourishment somehow or another. And I become the child of the clouds and of hope. I become the friend of the enemy, whoever that is. I have become older. In cherishing what I have learned, I have become younger. And what do I risk to tell you this, which is all I know? Love yourself, then forget it, then love the world.
Good morning. The Bailey Award. This award is given in memory of Marjorie Cannon Bailey, a graduate of the Dwight School and a longtime teacher at Dwight, and recognizes a student who has shown a concern for the problems of contemporary society and possesses a personal commitment to change and to renewal of a larger community. The recipient of this year's Bailey Award is Ananya Kanan. The Senior Citizenship Award, awarded to that senior who was judged by faculty and fellow seniors to have made the most significant contribution to school life through constructive involvement in school affairs, through the fostering of cooperative efforts among all members of the school community, and through the exercise of responsible leadership. Seniors nominate candidates, and the faculty elects a recipient from among the number of those nominated. The recipient of this year's Senior Citizenship Award is Anna Ibarguen.
A few weeks ago, I gave my first tour of Dwight-Englewood to prospective students and their families. At the end, someone asked me why I chose this school, a question I hadn't considered in over 3 years. I fumbled for a moment. Was it the academics, the teachers, the clubs? Yes, it was certainly all of those. But as I spoke to them, walking backwards past our tennis courts, hoping not to trip, I remembered something I'd almost forgotten. When I was a prospective student visiting DE, the former head of school gave a speech. It was probably aimed at the parents in the room, but it stuck with me. He said, "In every stage of life, we think if we achieve the next great thing, we'll finally be happy. The cycle goes like this. If I get into the best high school, I'll finally be satisfied. Then you get there and think, if I get into the best college, I'll finally be happy. Then the best job, then the next thing, and the next." He asked, when do we actually stop and feel it? He said Dwight-Englewood's mission was to break that cycle, to instill a love of learning so deep that students don't just endure their time here, they enjoy it. And he promised something I didn't fully appreciate at the time. He said, by the time your kids are graduates, they'll look back and realize just how happy they were here. I'll be honest, for most of high school, I couldn't really see it. I was too busy looking ahead. What test was next? What event needed planning? What came after all of this? I think many of you too felt the same way. There was always a next step, and we were tirelessly working towards it. But now, for the first time, we're being asked to build a path ourselves. And that's terrifying. But maybe it shouldn't be. Because even within the structure of high school, we were already making choices that truly mattered. We learned how to face pressure instead of running from it. We learned how to lose a game, fall short in an election. Thanks, Max. Bomb a test, and come back the next day anyway. We learned that asking for help isn't a weakness. And without realizing it, we built relationships that changed who we are. And not only with our friends, but our teachers too. They knew our quirks, they noticed when we were off, and they cared about us well after class ended. For example, I would like to thank Dr. Vendel for the roughly 720 hours that you spent over 4 years at 12 Model UN conferences with me. I know there are other things that you could... I know there are other things that you could have been doing than watching me yammer on about water rights in Cabo Verde. I don't think any of us is leaving this school without at least one teacher who will remain with us for the rest of our lives. Our school motto is per ardua ad veritatem. Through hard work, we arrive at the truth. I think the truth was in front of us the whole time. We maybe just couldn't see it because we were too focused on the destination. The truth is that happiness was never waiting for us here at the finish line. It was in the work itself, but more than that, it was in the people who sat beside us while we did it. Because here's what I know. Years from now, none of us will remember the gum test we had to pass sophomore year. Honestly, we might have already forgotten about that. I'm sorry, Mr. Meserol. Or which homework assignment we turned in late. But we will remember the things that felt ordinary at the time. Listening to our friends sing their hearts out at Jazz Rock, playing catch on Leggett Field, laughing so hard at a lunch table that you couldn't breathe about something you no longer remember, and a way a friend looked at you in class, and you tried just so hard to keep a straight face, but you just could not. Where's Mason? I know I will remember the first time I saw Miss Scalfani when I returned from my semester away, and just how good it felt to be back here in my home. Those moments, the ones we didn't plan, the ones we almost didn't notice, those are the ones that will stay with us for the rest of our lives. And that might be the most important thing that Dwight-Englewood has taught us. Not just how to succeed, but how to be somewhere fully while we're still there. Because one day, those everyday moments will become what we miss the most. There will always be another goal, another milestone, another next thing. But if we have learned anything in these last 4 years, it is that a life spent chasing only what's ahead is a life that's missing what's right here. So here we are. We are about to be graduates, and I can say with confidence that we have been happy here. But more than that, here, we have learned how to be happy, and we will carry that with us for the rest of our lives. Thank you, and congratulations.
I came to Dwight in 4th grade, and I remember all too well what it was like to be new. I was unnaturally excited, more excited than any 9-year-old should be for school, and this excitement managed to follow me for a long while. I expected that feeling to dwindle as my collection of years spent here continued to grow, but I never once felt like I'd outgrown my youthful curiosity, a curiosity that has often taken the form of pure joy. Many springs later, I am now a graduating senior. Not a soul would consider me new to this place, but I managed to discover new things every day. I believe a physical space only holds true sentimental meaning when it becomes a setting of growth, a breeding ground for discovery. And believe it or not, it was not the academics I found myself so intently keen to explore, but the people. There is something very uniquely intimate about existing with the same people in the same space for such an extended period. I take great comfort in existing here because of these people, both in the familiarity of their presence and in the potential of what remains unknown. And if you've ever had the privilege of being surrounded by the class of 26, you would notice that when we aren't swamped with college decisions, we possess an air of calm, a lack of urgency that welcomes opportunities to come together, a firm objective to enjoy our senior spring. During this past year, we have embraced every possible moment to enjoy each other's company, and have expressed a constant enthusiasm to do so. We are an embodiment of ambition, but manage to maintain a strong lust for life. Each class manifests a very distinct character, and not to be biased, but my grade has always been the coolest. We are a collection of personalities. I do not think there is a single person I've spoken to who has not possessed a distinct defining trait that intrigues me. I often find myself repeating the phrase, "I love my grade," in the aftermath of a very amusing situation. It is almost a reflex to wander the halls and greet any passerby with an immediate smile. I've been wrestling with the idea that my future community will not know me in the context of my previous self. A blank slate is appealing, but I think it's equally petrifying. No one has the context of who I am to inform how they perceive me, and this idea used to be incredibly daunting, but I'm reminded that change is the only constant in life. This made me think about my grade. There are a number of us who have been here since lower school. We've known each other for quite a while and have established a dynamic. In growing, we are not replacing the us that existed, we are simply adding to it. Just as my peers informed equal parts of the class of 26's identity, despite how long or short they have been here, is the same as how all aspects of ourselves are equally us, no matter when they are discovered or who is the first to discover them. I've caught myself saying, I cannot wait to leave, but I think a more accurate statement would be, I'm trying to run away. I'm too eager to escape tensions that have underlined my experiences and challenges I could not face, but to say I cannot wait to leave could not be further from the truth. I cannot speak for everyone, so I speak for myself when I say that I've met the most incredible, supportive group of people here. I've taken for granted the souls I've been surrounded by for so long, and it is in our departure that I find an even stronger desire to hold on to them forever. And if my close circle is any reflection of the broader community, then the world is in amazing hands. It is every one of you that made me excited to be here, and I hope I have returned every ounce of kindness. That is why I believe what I will miss most about this place is not the academic opportunity, not the beautiful campus, but my people. We are constantly subject to feeling overwhelmed by narratives circling the media, and it is easy to feel helpless in the grand scheme of change. There was a time when beyond the walls of my home seemed completely foreign to me, but we are now inheriting a world that we must work to make a better place by always championing kindness. I have absolute faith in the incredible things my peers will do, and I know they are ready to meet the challenges of a changing world and make it better. I have been consistently impressed with their work ethic, discipline, and deep intellectual curiosity, and I know it will manifest through their lasting impact. I'd like to close with somewhat of a cliche. I hope you all, whether you are well-practiced or still learning, try to live in the moment. At Dwight, we move fast, constantly setting goals and striving to reach them. There's little room to breathe. It is good to think about your future, but not when it takes away from your present. The only moments guaranteed are the ones you're actively experiencing. I have learned this year to really internalize every waking minute. I've learned to seek out things that bring me joy and that uplifting activities are not inconveniences. Our culture has conditioned us to see life as a game, but there is absolutely no point in winning if you did not enjoy playing. If things become overwhelming, slow down and do something only for yourself, because you absolutely can and should. Do not ever lose the lust for living that makes us so spirited, and always seek those tiny little joys. And of course, it would be completely un-Madigan of me to not leave you with a song lyric that I feel embodies our class spirit. So, to quote the Indigo Girls, "You know the things that I'm afraid of, I'm not afraid to tell, and if we ever leave a legacy, it's that we loved each other well." Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So as the head of school, I've decided that I'm changing the order of events next year, and I'm going first because it is amazing that none of us actually talked about what we were going to speak about today, but there's a theme that is showing through. So bear with me. So class of 2026, before I get started on my more formal remarks, I want to say thank you again. I told them thank you in our last assembly, but I want to do it here publicly again. While I was here last year watching graduation, this is my first true graduation. As many of you know, I arrived this year as the 5th head of school in 5 years. Yes, that is correct. I know. And I'm proud to say that I've almost officially made it to being the 5th head of school in 6 years. And while having a losing record is usually not something to brag about, I must admit I'm kind of proud of that. So from the moment I arrived, class of 2026, you welcomed me. You introduced yourselves, you were interested in getting to know me, you answered my many questions, you shared your stories and opinions, lots of opinions. You taught me the traditions of this place. You ate my snacks, many of them. You made me laugh. You made me hopeful. You made me proud. And above all, you reminded me daily that coming to DE wasn't just a choice, it was the right choice for me and my family. In many ways, while I was onboarding to DE, you were onboarding me. For that kindness, that patience, and that grace, I am deeply grateful to all of you. Thank you, class of 2026. So, this is my 13th year presiding over a graduation as head of school, and for the 12 years before this, I've looked to my quote board, and if you've ever been in my office, you've seen it, for inspiration. And honestly, it was really difficult this year to pick before I sat down to write this. I had several top contenders, and if you've been in my office, you know I have like hundreds of quotes all over the place, but ultimately, I settled on a quote from Jack Vanek. She's a self-made entrepreneur, CEO, producer, writer, powerful fashion and music influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers. And she wrote, "You are the books you read, the films you watch, the music you listen to, the people you meet, the dreams you have, the conversations you engage in. You are what you take from these. You are the sound of the ocean, breath of the fresh air, the brightest light in the darkest corner. You are a collective of every experience you have had in your life. You're every single second of every day. So drown yourself in a sea of knowledge and existence. Let the words run through your veins and colors fill your mind until there is nothing left to do but explore. There are no wrong answers. Inspiration is everything. Sit back, relax, and take it all in. And that is a magnet that is on my board. And although the quote is worthy of further exploration and deep introspection, I was drawn to one line in it. You are every single second of every day. Class of 2026, you are every single second of every single day. There's a profoundness to this sentence, so simple yet so complex. Each of those seconds every day, 86,400 of them to be exact. And for you math geniuses in this class, I checked this several times and all the numbers that I will use to follow, because I know how y'all are. All of these are yours to use. The paradox of time is that you cannot hold it. You cannot stop it. You cannot borrow or buy more of it. Once used, you cannot get it back. Unless, of course, you have a retrofitted DeLorean DMC-12 like the one in Back to the Future. Then we'll talk. So yes, time is this strange yet constant resource and force. For the last 4 years, many of you have spent extraordinary amount of time of it asking questions like, how much longer do we have in class? How much longer until lunch? How much longer until summer? How much longer until college decisions? How much longer until graduation? Well, you are here. You are sitting here through a graduation speech using up your most precious commodity, your time. And my hope for you is not to waste it and that your question actually starts to change. What will you do with the time you have? When you were 14, 4 years felt like forever. When you were 18, 4 years probably feels like a blink. And someday, sooner rather than later, you'll look back on this morning and wonder how quickly it passed. Scientists have spent decades studying how human beings experience time. Researchers have discovered that awe actually can expand the perception of time. Awe. Awe. Awe is defined as an emotion variously combining dread, veneration, and wonder that is inspired by overwhelming greatness. People who experience awe feel as though they have more time available to themselves, become more patient, and report greater well-being. In other words, wonder, awe, amazement literally changes our experience of time. Moments of awe give us the sense that time is elongated and maybe even sometimes stands still. That may explain why some moments seem to last a little bit longer. A championship game, go Knicks, come on. A first kiss, a difficult goodbye. Yeah, some of you are thinking about those. I remember, yeah. A sunrise over the mountain or a sunset sitting on the beach. The moment your college acceptance appeared on that screen for some of you. Or maybe it'll be a little later this afternoon at the sight of the tears on the faces of the ones who love you. Awe stretches time. And perhaps that is life's great secret. The richest people are not those with the most money. The richest people are those who know how to pay attention. They are the ones who collect meaningful moments like treasures, neatly scrapbooking each into their minds to come back to relive, to remember, to hold on to longer than the moment in which they actually occurred. In fact, one of the most significant longitudinal studies ever conducted, the Harvard Study of Adult Development, which has followed people for more than 85 years, arrived at a remarkably simple conclusion. The clearest predictor of happy and healthy life was not wealth, achievement, fame, or professional success. It was the quality of the human relationship. Not what people accumulated, but whom they loved, not what they accomplished, but with whom they shared their lives. Class of 2026, you have shared your lives with those around you. The older I get, the more profound that finding becomes. So let's talk numbers for a second. Most of you are close to 18 or 18 years old. That means you have been alive for approximately 6,574 days. And yes, I did include the 5 extra leap year days. That also means that that's 157,776 hours, 466,560 minutes. So that has been nearly 10 million minutes that you have been alive to learn, to fail, to explore, to laugh, to recover, to discover, and to become. So take a moment to simply imagine what the next 30+ million minutes still ahead of you can hold. Although graduations mark the end of something, you are not arriving at the end of something today. You're arriving at the edge of formation, the edge of becoming. The next 30 million plus minutes are yours to create, class of 2026. There are still books that you need and want to read, places you have not seen, friendships you have not formed, people you have not loved yet or maybe forgiven, ideas you have not discovered or passed along, versions of yourself you have not yet met. There are communities and families that you will build, problems you will solve, causes that you will champion, and beauty that you will create. And of course, there will be mistakes, and let's hope that most of them are not documented via social media and will live forever. But I know you all, so it is what it is. And in each of these things, and millions more, that gives you the opportunity to transform the ordinary moments into memories that stay with you for a lifetime. And what a remarkable moment in history to use your time. Yes, I know it is a complex, as we've heard, complicated, as we've heard, time for sure, and one of the most rapidly changing periods in modern history. I know the headlines sometimes feel overwhelming. Wars, geopolitical divisions persist, climate and global health challenges demand our urgent attention. AI is transforming industries almost overnight and making us question our very human existence and humanity. The world in this moment feels uncertain, it feels noisy, it can also feel cruel and overwhelming. But perspective does matter. Class of 2026, you are also graduating at a moment when humanity is exploring deeper into space. And those of you who know that I love space, I could have done a whole talk on space, but I didn't. Than ever before, making extraordinary advances in medicine and science, communicating, collaborating, and coming together across differences for shared purposes in ways that we never have. And never in human history have so many people had access to so much information but not knowledge. So many tools and so many possibilities are still ahead of you. But for all of its challenges, this is an extraordinary time to be alive. The astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson once said, "We are part of this universe, we are in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is also in us." I love that quote because it reminds us that history is not simply happening around us, it is happening through us. Class of 2026, you are not spectators of this moment. You are participants in it. You are actively involved in it. You are the builders of it, the authors of it. The future is what you will create, and it will be intentionally. And that brings me to perhaps the most important lesson time teaches us. Time itself does not make a life meaningful. Time alone does not create awe moments. Attention and intentionality do. Everyone receives 24 hours every day, but not everyone truly lives them. Some people spend their time collecting achievements, others spend their lives collecting types of moments that give their life meaning. And these moments give us those extra minutes. The older you get, the more you will realize that life is not measured primarily by resumes, which someone has already said, so there you go. It is measured by those relationships, by courage, by kindness, by love. But more importantly, it's measured by the people who love you and who you love that make you feel safer, stronger, wiser, and more hopeful. Nobody, and this is just me, reaches the end of life wishing they'd answered more emails. Sorry. And for those of you out in the audience that I still owe an email to, my bad. I've been a little busy and distracted. I'll get to it, though. Class of 2026, your generation has been handed extraordinary tools. But tools alone are not enough. AI can answer the questions, make your workflow easier and faster, but it cannot tell you what life is truly worth caring about. What in life is what truly is caring about. Algorithms, mathematical equations, they can solve lots of things, but they don't build character and they don't build people. It is my opinion that truly the only way to disrupt what's happening in this world is to remain deeply, deeply, and intentionally human. This world will need people who can think critically, but with emotional discernment, that will listen generously and genuinely to those who both agree with them and disagree with them. Your imagination and curiosity, and finally, the intentionality and willful choosing of empathy and grace over all other things will be important. The poet Mary Oliver asked, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild, precious life?" Today, I would offer a variation of this. What will you do with your next 30 million plus minutes? So this morning, as you stand on the threshold of your next chapter, I'll offer you all kinds of advice. Some you'll take, some, you'll dismiss. I know how you are. But listen all the same. I want you to dream big. Big, audacious, crazy big. I want you to put your devices down, something that I was not able to have you do here, but I'm just telling you. Put your devices down and be in the moment with yourself and others. Make time for real friendships, lasting friendships. Build, invent things. And if you happen to break a few things here and there, just remember to pay for them. It's all good. Travel near and far. Take risk and get into the good trouble, as esteemed civil rights icon John Lewis often reminded us. Change your mind from time to time, because you don't know it all. Be willing to fail spectacularly and beautifully. Do not rush through your life trying to get somewhere in which, as someone already said. Stay curious. Call your family, especially when you're in college. Parents, you hear me tell them this, right? Call your family. Call your loved ones, because not only will they need it, you will too. Watch sunsets and sunrises without taking a picture of them. Yeah. I want you to eat and enjoy your food instead of documenting it. I want you to tell the people you love that you love them while they can still hear it and feel it. I want you to surround yourself with people who both love you and challenge you. I want you to be open to critique so you can become the best version of yourself. I hope that you choose purpose over status. And I hope that you never take moments for granted, because they remind us that being alive is not just something to manage. It is actually something to marvel at. And one day, graduates, many years from now, you will look back on this morning and realize something surprising. The most important thing about today is not that you have graduated. It is that your life was still unfolding. The clock was not expiring. It was truly just getting started. Class of 2026, you have already lived nearly 10 million minutes. May you have more than 30 million more. May you spend them wisely. May you spend them bravely. May you spend them generously. And may you spend them creating a world that is more just, more compassionate, and more hopeful and helpful than the one you inherited. And lastly, may you spend it with people you love and who love you back. And when history looks back at your generation, may it say this: they did not merely live through an extraordinary moment in time, they helped shape it. And as Dee's mission reminds us, they helped make it better. Thank you for welcoming me into this community. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your story. Congratulations, class of 2026. The clock is beginning. Now go make your time matter.
Good morning to everyone who has helped, motivated, and shaped the lives of the class of 2026 to reach this moment of achievement and pride. I am Max Koppelman, and this year I had the honor and joy of serving as your student body president. When contemplating my third draft of this speech, I knew I had to drop the corny movie quotes and speak from the heart, or I'd regret it 40 years down the road when my kids read this speech and remind me how much of a nerd I truly am. So instead of embracing that truth, I'm going to take you all back in time into the mind of a so-called mini Max. Just like the anti-procrastinator I am, I wrote the first line of this speech unknowingly 1,159 days ago, on a whim, on a random night in my freshman spring. I've carried this line with me for years, hoping I could share it with you all today, and it seems the time has finally come. At Dwight-Englewood, we learn that independence is not the same as solitude. That's it. Pretty deep stuff from Freshie Max, right? But seriously, consider that for a moment. Why is it so important to acknowledge the difference between independence and solitude? It's not found within our mission statement or our core values, but it is implicit within each one of us. Collaboration is at the core of our class. Through every single assignment, quiz, and test, we never once faced them alone. Sometimes it took 4 people, 8 hours, and a 50-page study guide, but we learned along the way what I hope you all take away from this. Working with others does not dilute the quality of your work, but it strengthens it with the wisdom of others and the willingness to accept help and suggestions for improvement. It speaks volumes that the quintessential scene of the class of 2026, when there was still work to be done, of course, was in the library building behind me. A well-oiled machine. You could be working on a math problem, get stuck, and then ask someone, usually by yelling across the room, which our librarians will certainly miss, to come over and explain a concept. In the end, everyone was teaching each other and learning together, and I think that has been the key to our great success over these 4 years. Independence is not hunkering down in the silent study space while you struggle. It is not studying alone, and it is certainly not competing by yourself. At DE, we reminded ourselves of the fundamental principle that we are surrounded by people who are passionate about everything, and that is a gift we should not let go to waste. In this final year at DE, our class has certainly united, and under the collective pressure and tension of college, grades, and just life, has emerged as a diamond made stronger by our challenges, a group whose experiences are more like a family than those of classmates. It is our responsibility to cherish the qualities we have developed and use them to improve the world. A book I was introduced to in our very own AP English class this year reminds us in no uncertain terms of how we have lost this responsibility. In Philip Roth's The Human Stain, an older character reflects on her childhood in New Jersey. Quote, "It was recommended that each student who graduated from high school in New Jersey got 2 things, a diploma and a copy of the Constitution. So few people today have a reasonably clear understanding of the Constitution of the United States. But here in America, as far as I can see, it's just getting more foolish by the hour." End quote. I believe that the greatest challenge our world faces today is a lack of collaboration. Whether motivated by polarized politics, religion, or ideological differences, this lack of outreach pushes everyone into solitude and erodes the fabric of our society. But here, right here in this place, our home of learning, we have exercised that muscle each and every day. Though now, instead of pretending to read an English book, we will hopefully not pretend to read the Constitution. We will be the generation that fixes our country, and we are so fortunate to have each other, a group filled with people who seek excellence in each of their passions. I know that when we come back for our reunions, we will see doctors and lawyers, sure, but also voice actors, sportscasters, the next librarian of the Library of Congress, and we will all have one thing in common, Dwight-Englewood. I leave you with this. Stay close to those who love you, for they will be your strongest advocates. My mother, my father, my grandparents, my family, my friends, and my Hannah. Never forget where you came from, and do not judge others by where they come from. And always be curious, for that is the spark of collaboration. The intersection of passion and curiosity, always together, inseparable. I will miss all of you, but this is no goodbye, for this is my home, and these people are my family, always. Thank you, and class of 2026, please don't forget to read your copies of the Constitution you received on Friday. I hope they will serve you well, and congratulations.
saw the sun begin to dim and felt that winter wind blow cold. When a man learns who is there for him, when the glitter fades and the walls won't hold.
'Cause from then rubble, what remains can only be what's true. If all was lost, there's more I gained, 'cause it led me back to you.
From now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the light. From now on, what's waited for tomorrow starts tonight. It starts tonight. Let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart. From now on, from now
I drank champagne with kings and queens, the politicians praise my name. But those were someone else's dreams, the pitfalls of the man I became.
For years and years I chased their cheers, the crazy speed of always needing more. But when I stop and see you here, I remember who all of this was for. And from now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the light. From now on, what's waited till tomorrow starts tonight. It starts tonight.
Let this promise in me start
Like an anthem in my heart.
from now on. From now on.
From now
And we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. From now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the lights. And from now on, what's waited for tomorrow starts tonight. It starts tonight.
Let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart. From now on, from now on, from now on,
And we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. come back home, and we will come back home, home again.
That was incredible. Thank you, Jazz Rock. About 6 weeks ago, I spoke with the class of 2026 about their legacy. I shared a story with them about a different class, many moons ago, that spray painted the turf on Leggett Field and still lives in infamy. I tasked them with thinking about what kind of legacy they wanted to leave and how they could show up for the remainder of their senior year in service to that legacy. Because this is a thoughtful and deeply kind group of young people, they are leaving one that they can all be proud of. But the concept of legacy is an abstract one, mainly because we rarely view our own from a perspective outside of our own. It will be others who create it and tell your story. And they will construct that story based on how they view your work, your words, and your impact. Regardless of what you hope they'll say, it's really not up to you. I approach the writing of my commencement speech each year with a seriousness of purpose. This is a big stage, both literally and figuratively, and I want to honor that. And I, as a lifelong educator, also want desperately to impart some knowledge on the audience. I can't help it, it's just in our blood. But I am aware that my role as a commencement speaker, in your minds, is to hurry up and get it over with, so that you can get off the stage or out of that plastic chair and move on to your real celebrations. I'm aware that very soon after I stop speaking, the content of my speech will likely fade into the background of this day, and in a few weeks or months, you'll perhaps forget that I spoke at all. And here's why I'm okay with that. Whether you remember my speech from your graduation isn't really the point of the exercise. As an educator, you plant things and you rarely get to see what grows. You say something in a classroom or a hallway, and you have no idea where it lands or whether it lands at all. That's the nature of the work. Honestly, that's the nature of most work that ends up meaning something. And I think there is something clarifying in that about what it means to do work that is worth doing. There is a Greek proverb that says, "Societies grow great when old men plant trees in whose shade they know they shall never sit." History is full of people who have done their work not because it made them rich or famous, but because it called to them and insisted they listen. Augusta Savage was born in 1892 in Green Cove Springs, Florida, the seventh of 14 children. From a young age, she loved to make figures with the natural clay she found in the ground near her home. The daughter of a Methodist minister who considered her clay sculptures sinful, she taught herself how to shape a piece of earth into something that allowed her and others to connect, to explore, to consider, and to love. She moved to New York in 1921 with $4.60 in her pocket, determined to pursue the work that made life worth waking up for. Savage opened a studio and a free art school in Harlem in 1932 and taught anyone who came, charging nothing. At her school, she mentored students that went on to define a generation of American art: Jacob Lawrence, Gwendolyn Knight, and Norman Lewis, to name a few. She was commissioned to create a sculpture for the 1939 World's Fair, and she created a large harp inspired by the shape of a lifting hand, which honored the contribution of Black Americans to music, The piece was seen by 5 million people and celebrated for its message and its artistry. But the harp was made of plaster. And since she didn't have enough money to cast it in bronze or to have it stored long term, the fair organizers destroyed it when the event concluded. While most of her work has been lost to time, what remains are Savage's students, and their students, and theirs. When Anna Money turned 8, the traditional gift for a girl in her family was a pair of earrings. She asked instead for encyclopedias. When she got older, she studied physics and applied for a fellowship at one of India's most celebrated research institutions, but was denied the fellowship because she was a woman. She went to London instead, earned her credentials, and came home to a newly independent India to work. What she found at the Indian Meteorological Department was close to nothing. Sparse equipment, imported instruments designed for different climates, no standardized protocols, no infrastructure to speak of. So she built one. She designed hundreds of instruments, wrote manuals, established measurement protocols, and trained the people who would use them. India today is currently making ambitious transformations in renewable energy by building solar farms and wind grids powerful enough to meet the energy needs of 1.4 billion people without harming our planet. The scientists and engineers designing that future are working from data collected by instruments that Anna Money designed, through protocols she established, interpreted by generations of meteorologists she trained. Money spent her career getting the measurements right because she believed that measurements mattered, not because she was worried about building a legacy. Bayard Rustin was born in 1912 and raised by his Quaker grandparents in rural Pennsylvania. In 1948, he traveled to India to learn more about nonviolent resistance from the disciples of Gandhi. When he came back to the US, he brought what he had learned with him and began teaching it to a young Baptist minister in Montgomery, Alabama, named Martin Luther King Jr. The ethical and strategic framework that defined the American Civil Rights Movement was something Bayard Rustin helped place in Martin Luther King's capable hands. In 1963, Rustin was asked to help organize a march on Washington. In just about 8 weeks, Rustin coordinated transportation to DC from every corner of the United States, arranged food, water, portable toilets, a sound system, a stage, a program, security, medical support, and media logistics for an event that drew 250,000 people to the National Mall. It was at the time the largest political demonstration in American history. King's I Have a Dream speech was delivered on the stage Rustin built and through the sound system he provided. But Rustin was not mentioned in that speech, and nor was he on stage. The forces aligned against the civil rights movement were looking for any weapon to discredit it, and Rustin knew that his full identity would give them one, and so he remained invisible. Augusta and Anna and Bayard all did important work, but their work isn't just important because it shaped the future. It mattered in the moment, too. Whether or not they taught or designed or organized with an eye towards the future isn't all that relevant. What matters is that they did work that was vital to them, regardless of whether they were recognized or celebrated for it. At a time when we walk around with literal mirrors and megaphones in our pockets, surrounded by self-promotion and flights of the ego, I urge you all to consider what remains in your wake. Not the noise or the celebration, but the work. The people you showed up for, the communities you cared for, the things you built that didn't have your name on them, the trees. I suppose that's what this speech is in the end. It's what being an educator is in the end. Frankly, it's what being a parent is. We are all constructing plaster harps. Teachers make them as carefully as we can and offer them to our students. Parents make them as thoughtfully as they can and offer them to their children. Whatever happens to the harp once the fair is over is not ours to control. What we know is that you all are the trees we have been trying to plant. You are the shade we will not get to sit in. Sorry. practiced this so many times so that I wouldn't do this, and now here we are. Oh, thank you, madame. All right. You are the shade we will not get to sit in, but that's okay. Sitting in the shade was never the point. What I hope for you all is that as you move through life, you ask yourself a different question than the one the world begs. The world will ask, did you get credit? Did anyone notice? Did it make you rich? I hope that in the face of that pressure, you'll ask yourself different questions. Did the work matter? Did I do it well? Did I lead with love? Have I met the challenges of a changing world and made it better? I am so honored to have shared some time with you all. I trust that something about today was meaningful and will remain nestled somewhere in your memories of Dwight-Englewood. Maybe it will be the words you've heard your classmates deliver, or the ringing of the bell as you leave the tent, or the meal you'll share with family this afternoon. Regardless, you should know that you have all done good work here, work worth doing. And I know that you'll continue to do so long after you head off into your next grand adventures. We could not be more proud of you or grateful for the shade that future students will sit in because of your work here. Congratulations, class of 2026. Thank you.
Omotare Nicolas Adiere Bonilla. Jaden Alex Arowesti. Emma Pearl Baumgarten. Finn Ellis Benveniste. Lily Gerson Berger. Celia Rose Bin. Benjamin Emmanuel Blitz. Ethan Boachi Ajay. Jack Andrew Bogosian. Frederick Bomer. Sydney Hayden Brown. Samson S. Kane. Cooper Caraher Haim. Catherine Chen. Miranda Cheng. Piper Alexandra Cherwin. Hudson Kenneth Clune. Nate Charlie Goldfarb Cohen. Leo John Colosimo. Grace Donna Dalgetti. Matteo Raffaele De Rosa Lepore. Dylan Estacio Dennis. Conrad Buffett Diaz. Evan Charlotte Epstein. Sophia Leila Espinal. Bridget Victoria Fajardo Fares. Amanda Lee Friedman. Haley Pearl Fold. Pranav R. Ganatra. Patrick Cameron Jameson Gennardo. Ripley Harrison Golden. Julian Spencer Golub. Crystal Gonzalez Lewand. Mara Gualtieri Horowitz. Maya Olivia Haber. Gian Harrell. Ethan Hartstone. Charlotte London Hilfers. Oriana Yoyao Huang. Anna Sophia Ibarguen. Alexander Cole Jakimowski. Sarah Catherine Jaffrey. Kennedy M. Jarvis. Jagger David Joseph. Theron German. Madigan Early Kakmar. Lucas Jacob Kaganowski. Ananya S. Kanan. Cole Kaufman. Shrey Carey. Austin Kim. Joshua Kim. Sian Kim. Riley Klassfeld. Max Charlie Koppelman. Arav Krishnatri. Avery Francis Krolik. Amanda Bryn Lehman. Jonah Walker Lehman. Asher Jacob Lewis. Levine. Asher Jacob Levine. I'm so sorry. It's okay. Alexander Jacob Lewis. Jared James Liu. Ella Elizabeth Mansager. Gideon Marcus Trask. Swap. Rig Veda Mather. Isabella Rose Mayer. Leo Harry Mayer. Miles Youngsu Gil McCoy. Michael Daniel Neese. Todd Ross Merson. Jack Jeremiah Veenstra Meserol. Leah Mrgorodsky Dogovina. Carlos Jaden Monsiong. Isabella Soyeon Moon. Isabella Victoria Morales Fuentes. Miles Benjamin Neal. Ezra Newman. Mia Elena Nikov. Francesca Claire O'Donnell. Blasina Dara Aloe. Sofia Okendo Altagracia. Ian Alfred Orlovsky. Simran A. Parikh. Robert Jungsu Park. Rohan Prakash Patel. Shreya Patel. Nathan Eliev Perez. Emil Alexander Pishev. Paul Stefan Popobratu. Anna Radchenko. Nisha Vaidya Rajan. Give us 1 second. Wes Miles Ravner. Gabriel Aaron Rhodes. Maya Giselle Rosenberg. Piper Jillian Rosenberg. Sonia Roy. Lola Avery Rubel. Ethan Nate Sadowitz. Amanda Santos. Matthew Lewis Santos. Noah Aaron Brule Sapphire. Nicholas A. Seeger. Ariella Naomi Simone. Kenneth Emmanuel Seymour. Anya Shah. Mason Blake Shapiro. Alexander Andrews Sheffield. Evelyn Kathleen Shippey. Annabella Audrey Sue. Remy Jewel Silver. Ian James Saraki. Ella Diangie Stubbs Gomez. Matthew Hunwan Sa. Krishnav Tapuria. Keith Lewis Taylor, Jr. Thomas Thibodeau IV. Brandon Kyle Tiflinski. Should have waited. Jay Tiku. Grace H. Toman. Abigail L. Trocan. Sophia Michelle Vermes. Avi Saigal Walia. Quinn Presley Weinger. Wynn S. Wesley. Caden Wiener. Caden. Let's give it a Chloe Soyeon Yoon. Sophia G. Ye. No, she made Shiwen Zhang. Brandon Zhu. Christopher Lee Zhu. Please join me in congratulating the Dwight-Englewood class of 2026. We respectfully ask that everyone remains in their seats while the faculty recess to form the traditional honor guard. Thank you.